Hi, welcome to another comparison video. Today we'll be looking at two Xiaomi cordless vacuums. Here on my left is the Roidmi F8. On my right is the Jimmy JV51 cordless vacuums. We'll be looking at the features, similarities, and differences. And later on, a cleaning performance test on bare floor and low pile rug. So make sure to watch the whole video. If you haven't subscribed, please do click that subscribe button right below this video and the bell icon right beside it. It will come out once you click that subscribe button. And I will post links to the individual product reviews of these two cordless vacuums in the description below. So if you want more information, the latest pricing, the specs, any other information that you need, please click on those links. And if you have any more questions, please do send them below right in the comment section. Looking at the design of both of these cordless vacuums, you'll quickly notice that the Jimmy looks more like the Dyson compared to the Roidmi. Let's look at the power switch. On the Jimmy, it has a trigger switch here, right below the motor and at the back of the dirt bin. When you squeeze it once, and it powers on the motor. At the back is the max switch. Press this and it activates the suction. So if you need to clean deeper pile carpet, turn this on bare floor. The regular mode works well, and squeeze this trigger a second time and the power shuts down. Unlike the Dyson where you have to constantly squeeze this, in the Jimmy you don't need to do so. Squeeze it once and it stays on. Another difference between these two is the bin design. On the Jimmy, you can clearly see that it is aligned vertically. The bin is aligned vertically right below the motor. The motor is located in this area. The bin is here right at the bottom in front of the battery and the trigger. While in the Jimmy, the bin is aligned horizontally right in front of the motor. I believe that they did this to improve efficiency and power. So this one will have slightly more power than the Jimmy, but we will find out later on which will perform better on the cleaning test. And if you look at the bin, Jimmy clearly has a bigger bin than the Roidmi. So here is the bin side by side. You can clearly see that the Roidmi has a bigger housing for the motor, and here is the bin of the Roidmi. So to empty it, you will need to take this bin off the body. So to do that, you need to press this lever right in front to empty it, and then you'll need to pull this lever at the bottom and on top of it to open the door. So you can clearly see that there isn't too much room for the bin. It's a smaller design compared to the Roidmi, and one of the issues that I have with this would be this filter that pops out easily. If you're not careful emptying the bin, this can easily come out. So I hope that if anyone from Xiaomi is watching this, that they would add something to lock this in place. With the Jimmy, you don't need to remove anything. You just need to pull this lever at the bottom to empty the contents of the bin. So you can see here that this is the max fill line. It has a much larger bin compared to the Roidmi. So to empty it, you just need to pull this lever and out it comes. You may need to shake it a bit to empty the contents. So one issue with this design would be dirt getting trapped in this area of the bin. But that shouldn't be a big issue because you can easily remove this bin by pressing a lever here on front and twisting it forward. And you can clearly separate the bin easy, empty it. You can use a brush. You can use a brush to pick out the contents on the filter. So this is a big issue if you have a design like this. Even the Dyson V6 has this issue. That's why they redesigned the bin in the V8 and the V7. To reattach the bin, just do the reverse. Make sure that the dot is aligned to the icon here, and then twist and it locks in place. In the Roidmi, you'll do a similar procedure but in reverse. But let me just show you the issue that I have with this. So when you turn this upside down, it easily comes off. So I hope that, again, that Jimmy would come up with something to lock this more securely. So to attach this, you just need to slide this in and push it up. Putting these two side by side, I just want to see which one is longer. You can clearly see that the Jimmy is a bit taller than the Roidmi F6, and the Roidmi has a shorter one. That's because it has a bigger body, it has a bigger housing for the motor. The Roidmi has a smaller motor here and a longer extension one. So in terms of reach, both of this will have the same, almost similar type of reach for each vacuum. So for the Jimmy, you'll get more. Aside from the main cleaning head, you will get 3 extra tools. You'll get this mini turbo brush that is great to use on fabric, stairs, or in your vehicle. This comes with its own motorized brush. You can see that there are connections here. There are 2 metal leads that connect to the motor of the vacuum that transfers current to the motor here that spins the brush. You'll also get 2 combination tools. This would be the brush and crevice tool, and this is another brush and upholstery tool. You can use this on upholstery. For the Roidmi, you'll only get this brush tool. Actually, this is a combination tool. When you pull this out, it reveals a crevice tool here. So one thing I like about the Roidmi tool is that it has this locking switch here. When you, let me just show you how it works. So when you attach this, you just simply push this forward and it locks in place. To remove it, press the button here, pull it out. Easy to use. For the Jimmy, only the mini turbo brush has this locking switch. So to attach it, just push it in like so, and to remove it, do the opposite. Side note, you can also use these tools directly on the vacuum itself. The other tools of the Jimmy don't have that locking switch, so it relies on friction. Not a big issue really, unless you're really scrubbing hard and this pulls out. If you want more versatility, you want more options, the Jimmy provides you with more out of the box, while the Roidmi only has this brush tool. So in this test, I've already attached the brush tools for both of these vacuums. So I will test how usable this is above floors, meaning if you're planning to clean cobwebs off your ceiling or vents. This is an important feature to look at. So I'll start with the Jimmy and carry it above my shoulder. Press the power switch and try to clean this part off the ceiling. So the weight, it's not really heavy. Carrying it like this, it's not really awkward. It's pretty easy to use. So let's now move over to the Jimmy. The Jimmy has a bigger body, so I'm guessing this would be harder to use above floors. And let's look at how this brush works. So one thing I quickly notice is that the Roidmi is more heavier. It puts more strain on your wrist, and the brush design is more awkward to use if you're cleaning this part of your home. So for this test, I would give the nod to the Jimmy. It's more intuitive, it's more ergonomic, easier to use, lighter. Let's now look at the main cleaning heads of the Roidmi and the Jimmy. Both of them have this soft roller cleaning head. This tool is best used on bare floors since it's soft. It's basically a bar with a fabric wrapped around it that protects hardwood or any bare floor surfaces from scratches. This is the Roidmi cleaning head. So all around it are are strips of felt that protect the surface from scratches. Behind it is a rubber wheel. There's one huge rubber wheel behind, and two rubber wheels on both sides right here to protect the surface from scratching. Now let's look at the Jimmy brush roll. So it also has the same felt design that protects the floor from scratches. Right behind it are two rubber wheels. On the front are two plastic wheels. This though is a bit of a concern for me, that it could scratch the surface. If you're concerned with scratching, this would be a better option because these wheels are made from rubber, while the Roidmi the Jimmy is made from plastic. If you look at the clearance, you can clearly see that the Jimmy has more clearance. It has the soft roller head has more exposure, which means if you want to clean a big pile of mess, this would be a better option. You will see later on in the cleaning test how this handles a big pile of dirt that I'll scatter on the floor. The Roidmi has less clearance. That's because you can interchange this with the bristle attachment. So this would be the bristle attachment, would be a good option if you want to clean carpet. I would test this later on carpet. So this, you can remove this and put this in its place, and vice versa. Now there's someone who asked me if you could interchange the brush roll of these two vacuums. So let's try it out if that is possible. So let's remove the brush roll of the Roidmi. So let's do the same for the Jimmy. Remove the brush and let's pull this out. So put this side by side. You can clearly see that the Jimmy brush is a bit wider. It has more surface area, but just by a bit. Let's see if we can attach this here. If these two are interchangeable. Unfortunately, you cannot interchange the brush roll of these two. If you want to use this brush, you would need to purchase the Jimmy, but you know, it's the same performance, will roughly be the same. Again, we'll find out in the cleaning test later on. So this is to answer your question, if you can interchange the brush roll of these two. So overall, if your home has only bare floored, this would be a better option because it has more clearance here. This tool has more clearance, a lot more clearance. So if you're cleaning a big pile of dirt, this would perform better. This will be more efficient. There will be less plowing involved. If your home has bare floor and carpet, I suggest that you would get this. This is more versatile. You can use the soft roller head on bare floor and this brush on carpet. Another difference between these two is the Roidmi has an LED light in front. You can see the LED strip here. The Jimmy doesn't have any LED. The LED comes in handy if you're cleaning areas like this with very low light. So let me just demo it to you. So you can clearly see that the LED is quite bright. Show you how it looks like up close. Another difference between these two Xiaomi products would be the battery. The Roidmi's battery is built in. That means you cannot remove it. If the battery is shot, you will need to send it to Roidmi and have them replace it for you. While in the Jimmy, the battery is removable. Here's a switch underneath here that you can press and remove the battery. If you look at the side of the vacuum, you can see that it has the battery status indicator. So when you turn it on, this is green, which means it's still full. It's almost full. While on the Roidmi, the status is on the top of the motor. So you can see that this one is almost empty. Now for this cleaning test, I will be first using the Jimmy to try to clean as much of this mess as possible. This is a combination of dust, hair, all the muck that I picked up from my cleanings of our home. So I'll do a single back and forth pass and see how much dirt this tool will pick up. Okay, that was pretty impressive. The Jimmy was able to pick up almost every single crumb of dirt, though there's some bits left here up front, but that shouldn't be a problem on subsequent passes. So let me just clean the rest of this mess. Let me just show you how much dirt is left from this cleaning test. It did have some trouble picking up that stray paper, but for the most part, it was able to pick up most of the dirt. So I'm pretty impressed with how the Jimmy did on bare floor. Now it's a turn of the Roidmi. Same amount of dirt, single back and forth pass. Let's see how it does. You can clearly see the difference between the design of the Roidmi and the Jimmy. Since the Roidmi doesn't have as much clearance here, this dirt was pushed forward, this clump of dirt. So let me try to clean that clump of dirt. Seems like the cleaning head is having trouble picking this large clump of dirt. Let me just try to spread it out a bit and to give this vacuum an easier time to clean. Able to pick up most of the dirt, though some of the dirt dropped out of the cleaning head afterwards. Let me just show you a close-up of the dirt that came back out of the cleaning head. For the carpet cleaning test, I'll do the same thing, single back and forth pass, but I'll use the max mode for both these vacuums just to save on time. So this is the dirt that it has to clean. So let's see how much of it can pick up. Okay, so it did a pretty good job. It picked up most of the surface dirt. I just want to give you a close look of what's left. You can clearly see that it did leave some of the dust on the fibers. So I'll just clean the rest of this mess. So here's what's left of the dirt, and you can clearly see that there are some bits of dust here on this part. It didn't completely pick up everything, but most of the big chunks of dirt, most of the surface dirt, it was able to clean. You have to understand that this doesn't have any bristles, so it works best in grabbing surface dirt. It will not agitate as well as something with a bristle. So let's see how this compares with the Roidmi F8. So it's time for the carpet cleaning test or rug cleaning test for the Roidmi, and I will be using this brush. This one is made for carpet and rugs, and let's see how it does. Did a good job at picking up at least the surface dirt. You can clearly see that the strong suction, that the power was evident as it sucked dirt in through this chamber here. So in terms of power, this one has a bit more power than the Jimmy, and this brush did leave particles of dust here. So I'll go through this again and see if it can pick up these bits of dust. Okay, so you can clearly see that it basically did the same job as the Jimmy. It did leave some dust here on carpet. Between these two products, I would prefer the Jimmy mainly because it's cheaper, it has more tools included, and cleaning above floors is easier because the tools are more intuitive to use. It's easier to clean your ceiling vents with this because it's less top heavy. The Roidmi, it has more power. It has the LED strip in front. It may perform a little bit better on carpet, but it's not, the difference isn't that much. This soft roller cleaning head did a pretty decent job on this big mess, but you wouldn't want to use it on deeper pile carpet. So I hope that Xiaomi would come up with something that has a bristle brush. Maybe that the next updated version they would include a bristle brush, but of course if they would do that, that would be more expensive. If you want more information about both of these products, don't forget to click the links below. I've attached the links in the description for the review, individual product reviews. If you have any questions, shoot them below in the comment section, and give it a thumbs up if you like it, and share it with your friends. Those, if you know anyone looking for a cordless vacuum. And see you again in the next video.